Even on Hampstead Heath, you have to throw a lot of balls before you can be sure of a coconut.
Try again, Seb. Hit him hard next time, hit him hard. Hit him up, Seb, hit him up. Have another go, hit him up. Hit on, Seb. Anyway, you like, hey, Robbie.
In my job as a writer, I usually have to look at a lot of faces before I find the one I'm looking for. Although I had been looking hard enough all over the fair. In the end, I came back to the same face, the very first one I saw that August bank holiday morning.
What, me? Right and get me on telly? You must be crackers. Oh, you left it a bit late this year. We're pulling down tonight, going back to Coventry for the winter. But now you're here, you might as well meet the family.
I was quite sure that Fred Smith was all right for the telly, but he had a family, and they had to go on the telly. So at the start of winter, I went to Coventry with the travelling Smiths. There are 9 of them at home, 13 counting the married ones.
We got married, like the next morning we had 4 bob. We took 9 quid that night, paid 5 bob rent. We was made then. We was the richest two in Coventry, from 4 bob to 9 quid.
Things have changed on the road for the Smiths.
It was a pleasure with horses. Pleasure to travel with them. If you had good ones, mind, you had to have good horses. It'd take it a few hours to get there with horses, but you always had a couple of 3 rabbits and a couple of hares on the road as weeks grubbing on the one journey.
Like tired pilgrims, the Smiths returned to Coventry. But why Coventry?
Whatever you buy, you can sell in Coventry. It's a town you can sell anything in, you see. It's a town we're known. We're known well round with the farmers and different people knows you know, and it's your town where you live in. We've been here so long, you know, every kid knows us. And if I walk up the street tonight, there'll better be 3 or 4 up Mullingar Street saying, "Hello, Mr. Smith. Good night, Mr. Smith." Well, it's nice. 33 years ago we've had these yards. I bought it off father before father died. And ever since then we've had it and we'll never part with it. They tried to get it off me, the council did, but we fought them and beat them, you know. So I wouldn't take half Coventry for this yard.
For Mary Ellen Smith, it's a case of making up and breaking up a home twice every year. And a marriage has to be just that much stronger than most to stand it.
Well, now you're here, you might as well bloody do something, hadn't you? Hey? Off with your bloody coat, come on. What you got here? Get some wood into the old girl, Charlie. Make yourself useful. Come on, we'll do you while you're here. That's enough, go on, get scuttling.
You hadn't better let Freddie see you sit in that chair. If you're going to stay for long, you'll better find you another chair. Well, of course, we can't sit on it. That's his chair, nobody else sits on that.
Don't fall, though. A real showman always eats his meals sitting in a chair, so Fred reckons. Mary Ellen is a working partner. She expects this. Her own father was a showman. At 15 and 16, a showman's sons are already breadwinners. At 20, Glyn can be a quiet one, and nobody cares. You can be impish, and nobody cares about that either. In this family, there's room for it. Johnny has a locket under his shirt. He won't say who from. And if you're the only girl still at home, well, you're a bit spoiled. Fred bought this caravan last year. He wouldn't tell me how much he paid for it, but he expects 3 or 4 generations of Smiths to live in it. And the young Smiths aren't going to change much because the old Smiths don't change.
This is the granddaughter. They all learn to swear. Sounds with the other sound. They never swear then when they grow old. See you, mate? Hey?
Back among the flatties, that's what they call us house dwellers. The Smiths have to keep flatty hours. It's early to bed for them, for a change. It's early to rise, that's the difference. At the fair, nobody gets up till 10. For Ellen, it's a first flatty job, and there's a flatty working day ahead of them all.
Oh, it's not easy to get a job. Well, most of the factories know that we come from 40 Newdigate Road, and they just say no straight away. There's not many young girls there, you know, but we get on all right with the young girls, singing, telling jokes, and have a bit of a swear if the job's not going too well. But it's all right in other words.
To some of the girls, Linda is a bit of a curiosity. The world she lives in is so very different from their own.
Billy, Jimmy! Quick, here's your coconuts. Hurry up, quick, school.
Like most fairground children, Billy and Jimmy only go to school 6 months of the year. They don't think much of it.
Oh, again, what's up? Yeah. Wonder if my teacher's going to be this time.
Oh, I hope it ain't old Griffith.
Yeah.
Mr. wants me to
Toss
like
it.
this coke in it. He won't get another one.
You know what they'll say when they see us? Yeah,
the
Smiths
are back
again.
Yes, the Smiths are back in Flattyland, all right. But to what kind of life? Is 6 months freedom of the fair worth it if you come back to hard slog like this?
I'm shine, Mary Ellen.
Fred has been a fairground man longer than anybody else, so he gets up last. He's a slow starter, and his day, as usual, begins badly.
Was here, you know. He'd laugh at me for doing this so. Don't cry, Mary Ellen, don't cry.
These boys don't have a trade that any flatty would recognise. So in the winter, it's a freelance life in a Friday night world. Survival for summer.
Me boy, still the matches. I got 'em. Come up here, Bruce.
Fred, like many a flatty husband, likes to think he's a practical man. But it's Mary Ellen who's the bookkeeper of the family.
I have to do all the reading and writing in our bit of business, what we got, because Freddie can't read and write. And I went to school, you know, just in the winter times, same as our children does now. I was a little bit luckier than Freddie. He didn't go so much, so that's why he's a non-scholar. But This is a mark as I put on Freddie. He puts the cross and then I put the mark of Frederick Smith. That's how I have to sign everything of the business.
When things are not going well at headquarters, there's always a traditional diversion, a sudden inspection of other ranks at work.
Is that all you done? I've done more of that when my hands tied behind me.
Would you come and have a try then?
Come on, jump a bit. We had the lorries allowed today.
And so, when Father's gone, they all go back to work, in their own good time.
He's gone again, look. Somebody been a-messing with this bloody rubbish. It's useless. No good at all. Look at this. We'll bloody get out today.
To sell wood, you need a lorry. Fred had one, of a sort.
Close to the lorries you go. Come on. That way, that way. Whoa!
Come up here, you bloody thing. Somebody been having a double at him.
The entire winter economy of the Smiths depended on this licensed vehicle. Like its owner, it's not entirely without character.
Oh, she's opportunity knock. Definitely. When you start her up, she got a big knock in the engine, you see. We don't know if it's a main bearing gone, or if it's a big end gone, or what it is. But she's got no worse since I've had it, and we keep using it. Save and I'm trying to put other one in. Go to her in the morning, touch the button, and up she'll come. So it's plenty good enough for us. Don't want anything else, do we? That's the best name for her, opportunity knock, isn't it? At least people know you're coming with a knock. She's the best advertisement I've had.
The business of buying wood, like all commercial transactions, is a joy and a delight to Fred Smith. Any mug can buy, says Fred, but selling, even to a smith, needs a craft not too far removed from the showground.
Well, we load half loose logs and half a load of bag logs. Then when we sell the bag logs, half of them, I starts bagging in the street so that people can see me when I sell more like that, to advertise them in the street. A good many says, how much are they? And then we sell them while we're bagging them.
It isn't all that different, they say. from barking at the customers at the fair.
When you knock on a door, you generally see some of them through the window. They won't just answer the door, you know. So you think to yourself, well, when they're ignorant, and that's all.
I wondered what that heater was for. A lot of their customers are regulars. They're waiting for the travelling smiths.
Good morning, mate. You like a couple through now?
Yes, thank you. Just get a few.
How are the cats today? All right?
Yes, thanks.
I'll just put the bag down here. All right, thank you very much. Come on,
Are we here again next week?
Yes, same time next week.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you. See you out.
Bye.
Well, somebody's got to be the gaffer. It's the end of my first week with the Smiths, and they're getting used to me. I don't pretend to know much yet, but at least I know some of the things fair folk do in the winter time. And I discover they have a reckoning up day, too. They don't say what the total is.
What's up?
How's you done this week?
Oh, not so bad. It's Christmas.
Oh, let's have a look. Oh, that's not so bad.
Oh yeah, there's another week. Oh, they want me to go in Saturday again.
Why don't you go in then?
Oh, only £50 a week.
Can we have some money for the pictures?
Here, there's 5 shillings between you.
Can we have another bob for some pop and sweets in there?
Yeah, and think yourself lucky.
I'm shy, Mary Ellen, I'm shy. When you see these wages, you'll die.
Where's your nymph? Where's the logs?
Ours. Give it to me dad there.
What have you done with it then?
Lost it. I haven't got none. Well, I found these today.
Oh, them's nice. They're like the ones we had before, what you smashed. Do you remember?
Oh, there's a bit of a story there, isn't there?
Fred has a collection of these figures, and whenever he's in a bad temper, he lets off steam by breaking one or two.
So never say that shit again, else these will go. Do you like them?
I hadn't seen the Smiths for weeks, but I had promised to turn up at New Year. It was to be a showman's reunion, so Fred declared.
Life too short to quarrel, art too precious to break. Shake hands and let us be friends for old time's sake.
Darts for Fred, but for Mary Ellen, it's a night out among our own people.
Come on, Fred.
Push it! Missed it! Hello, Stanley boy.
Hello, Fred.
Another point, please. Had a bit of luck today.
What's that, Fred?
My troubles are over. For the season, yes, have a look at that. Can't read it, I haven't got
You want me to read it to you then, Fred?
Yes, please.
Dear Fred, I'm glad to tell you we have now obtained bookings for next summer, beginning at Hampstead on Good Friday. We go on to Wootton Bassett, Somerford, Melksham, Devizes and Winchcombe. Oh, you'll be travelling all summer
pray
again,
it's a nice
Fred.
summer, eh? No rain. Be lovely, won't it?
New Year's Eve, we make a habit of coming up here to make it a sort of a night. But in the summertime, when the weather's nice, you know, we go out more, because I've got more my own class of people, like the women, you see, and we can have a laugh and a joke more among ourselves.
See, my boys, what they call the flatters. They call me a flatty, because I was born in house, you know.
Is I've got a wooden bungalow as I lives in the winter, and we lives in the vans in the summer. But my opinion is they're like a prison.
I've been in this business so long now, between 60 to 65 years.
and I wouldn't go back into the house again for no money.
My husband calls me Norfolk Dumpling. He calls me Norfolk Dumpling because I come from around Norfolkshire, like. And that's what they call an Eastern County traveller.
Well, the good old days. We've had some good times, and we've got to call the good old days, and we've also had some enough time.
Granddad and Granny used to walk the tightrope, and my mother, she rode a pony in the circus. And of course, as years come on, they fetched these cinemascope, you know, film things out, and then Mother, she used to dance on the front of a show. And that's how they first started bringing out the films, wasn't it, in them days?
I used to sing I'm Longing to My Dear Old Home Again then.
Did you?
I could sing one time a day, but of course I'm getting old now.
I don't suppose a lot of the population, the older population, would like to go back to the good old days, which they call good old days. But I prefer the present days myself.
We long for the Easter to come to get out now. If the sun shines, we're longing to start cleaning or painting, you know, ready to be on the move.
Once you've been in the business, you'll always want to be back, especially when the sun comes out in the summertime. When you think about the places you might have been, if you've got the means to get there with something may unforeseen may happen, you've lost your horses or something like that, had the misfortune to lose a horse, and you can't possibly get there. But I can assure you, when the sun starts to shine, you feel like to be there, and eventually you do get another start and try and get to them again.
As the oldest lady traveller in the house, Mrs. Stokes leads the singing, even when she doesn't know all the words.
Should old acquaintance be forgot, never brought to mind.
See, I can't get it.
Old acquaintance be forgot in days of old and time. Old and time, my dear.
After the turn of the year, for all the travelling Smiths, it is just one long wait for spring, a marking of time.
I don't care how my job goes the last fortnight. As long as I get out, see all my friends, and that's when the fun starts then.
But the signal end of the winter was a sale in the Smith family. The first spring sale of the year, and the saddest.
Rona, you know it is. Last a lifetime in a glass case. He's forgot the top now. She ain't been too bad. She'll do him a good turn, we hope. If she don't, well, we can't help it.
The first blue skies of the year, and for the Smiths, a sudden hint of spring, warm sun, and the promise of a busy, familiar summer. I was still making notes, but the Smiths were losing interest in being on the telly. Their hearts were on Hampstead Heath already. And suddenly they were back, and I was there with them. The end of work, almost, for me. Back to work for the Smiths.
Come on now, this is Smith's coconut. Come on now, penny on the plate for you. Now try penny on the plate, win a goldfish.
Yeah, Georgie, 3 or 10 and what you like.
Yeah, sir, 3 for 6, 7 above now. Here you are, madam, first prize. You're very lucky to win this. And I can assure you this is the budgie well old Churchill winning last.
Come on now, lady, halfway up. Come on now, have a go.
3 for 6, sir.
Yeah, no, 2100 wins any prize.
Win a goldfish.
Canterbury Lake, hit 'em up.
The long-desired first show of the year had come and gone. And for a fellow travelling flatty who isn't going on with them to Wootton Bassett or Somerford or Devizes Carnival or Winchcombe Mop, the big question was still, why do they do it?
It's a life we love, and we don't know how much else to do anything else. There's me, and I was born in it, the wife was born in it, our parents was born in the business, and I hope my children will still keep in the business. My sons, I got 6 sons, and I hope they'll keep in the business the same as I have. As providing the weather's good, it's a good life. It's the best life in the world. We're here today, gone tomorrow, and we meet different people, see different faces, meet different friends, and we don't make a ton of money, but we get our living. And it just suits us. It's what we want to do, and we entertain thousands of people. And they like to see us come back and do the same old thing once a year, and they look forward to us going round once a year. And it's the finest life in the world.